guys, Jeff Cavaliere, AthleanX.com. Today we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to talk about the aesthetic side of things when training athletic. Right? I always say if you want to look like an athlete, you got to train like an athlete. Well, a lot of times guys have no athletic goals at all. What they want to do is just look more aesthetic. They want to get a better looking physique, a lot of times to attract the attention of the opposite sex, or I know there's some guys on this channel that like to watch this channel that would care about men like finding them attractive. And guys, that's totally fine. The idea is here, I think the list is probably going to be pretty much the same. The fact is there's 5 muscle groups that were listed as the most desirable by women in this case for men, and I figured I would help you guys to figure out what's the best way to attack each of those 5 groups. Now I will preface this by saying one thing. There's never going to be one exercise that will take care of an entire muscle group and develop it fully. We know that not only should you be switching up exercises, but you should be switching up the techniques that you use to do that. All right? So with that said, I'm going to now cover, in reverse order, the way that those came out in that poll, in that online poll, the 5 most desirable muscle groups according to women, and how we guys can do our best to try to bring out our best in each one. All right, kicking off this list at number 5 was shoulders. This is a surprise to a lot of guys because they don't look at it as one of those prime upper body muscle groups. They think chest, they think biceps, and don't worry, they'll be on the list too. But shoulders do one thing. They say a lot about you before you even have to take off your shirt. You will have a width to your upper body and set up a much more athletic looking body if you have wide shoulders that come down to a narrow waist. So how do we do that, guys? We're still going to put the athletic side back into how we train. We're still going to train like athletes, and we're going to do it here with one of my favorites is the side lateral raise, but we do it, remember, like I said, techniques matter. We do it with a 1.5 rep style. And the reason why we do it 1.5 style is I talked about in a recent video the value of using partial reps to sometimes create more specific overload in the contracted position. And when you're looking at this exercise, this is a good shoulder widener, right? We can get our shoulders a bit wider because we're working on building up the medial deltoids. So the more the medial deltoids sit out to the sides, the more width we're going to have. We can get a better contraction here by using 1.5 reps. I think a lot of times guys will cut this short. They'll swing the reps up, they'll swing it down. They'll swing the rep up, they'll swing it down, but they never really focus on letting the delts do all the work. They let all the other muscles help and as well as momentum, and I think that holds you back from developing your delts the way you should. So do the 1.5 rep style when you're doing your side lateral raises, and you'll do a lot better at helping to start broadening those shoulders of yours. Number 4, and as I promised guys, it didn't take long for this to appear, biceps is on that list. And the thing that women point out that they're so infatuated about biceps is that it's an instant form of recognition that you take care of yourself without, again, having to take off your shirt. If you're wearing a short sleeve shirt, people can instantly tell if you work out if you have a good set of arms. Now, you guys know how I feel about biceps and bicep training. The absolute best exercise that you can use is a curl. But that's not saying much because there's not a lot of options that you have when you're doing bicep training. Everything you do is some form of a curl. But it's again how you do the exercise. And here you can see me doing my favorite form of the bicep curl. It's a barbell curl done with heavier weight than I normally could handle and done in cheat style. And we've talked about the value of doing these cheat curls for building bigger biceps. If you do them exactly as I'm showing you here, you'll be able to build your biceps much faster because you can overload the eccentric, and that is a key component here for building bigger arms. If you cheat and allow yourself to cheat just up to the vertical position and then slowly allow your arms to lower, you're getting that eccentric overload that will rapidly help you to build bigger arms. But don't go crazy. Don't start cheating all the way past vertical. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about cheating up to the vertical part and then allowing your arms to come down slow. It's not cheating to vertical and then leaning the bar back. Continuing the countdown to number 3, it's the chest. So now we've hit those 2 big upper body muscle groups in addition to the shoulders. That was sort of the sleeper group. But this was an obvious one, guys. Women want a guy that has a good developed chest. And there's no better way to do this than with a variation of a bench press. But here I think I'm going to depart a little bit. I like the underhand grip bench press. Not only has it been shown to activate even your upper chest when doing a flat bench position, but here I'm doing an incline bench position, but even with the flat position, you're getting more activation of your upper chest fibers, and you're able to actually get your arms and forearms a little bit closer together to get a really good squeeze up at the top. I think it's got a few added benefits as well, is that it puts your position of your shoulders into a better position for those of us who have discomfort when we do bench press. We know that having our shoulders internally rotated or the overhand grip can just lead to additional problems if you already have bad shoulders. If you don't, go for it. But if you have bad shoulders, some guys have to forego the bench press entirely, and that's going to definitely compromise your ability to build a bigger chest. So by going underhand, we put our shoulders in a more externally rotated position. We give us a little bit more clearance in there. It feels better, and again, you get that better contraction. So for me, what better way to start hitting that chest than with the underhand bench press? Number 2, and probably surprisingly that's not number 1, the abs. Now, women, of course, are going to want to see that you have not just this big flabby belly, but you're going to have a defined set of abs. And again, I think just even for me as an athlete, I can recognize somebody instantly, a guy that's more powerful than somebody else. The guy that has the ripped abdomen, the guy that has the midsection that's definitely carved out is almost always going to be the guy that's more athletic and more explosive, because we know how important the core is to every single athletic move we do. So if we're going to train it, guys, I always say train hard. Train your core as hard as you can, and don't just try to isolate movements, but try to incorporate rotation into what you do. So here I'm showing you basically anything hanging is going to be harder than anything that you don't do hanging. But when you do a hanging exercise like the clocks here, now you're taking and involving the obliques on top of just your rectus abdominis. And one of the best benefits, guys, you can get from involving your obliques is this fact right here, that your obliques will actually help to taper in your waist. Even if you have a blocky midsection, if you have developed obliques in here, you can actually get this visual tapering that will give you the appearance, at least, of a much slimmer, trimmer waist. So if you're going to only do one thing, get up on the bar, make it hard, and then incorporate some sort of rotation with the leg raise, like I'm showing you in that exercise, so that you can make sure that you're hitting all those muscles at once. And finally, the number 1 muscle group most desired by women of their men. Guys, I guess they're not so different from us after all. They put down the butt. Now, I will tell you this. For athletes, it's everything. Training your glutes is going to make you so much better at everything you do, so I'm okay with this. I want you to be training your glutes as much as possible, and the way that I like to do it is with a variation of a lunge. I love the lunge. It's a very athletic movement. It gives us an opportunity to be in single leg stance. It gives us an opportunity to generate push-off power from a split squat position, very high carryover to what we do athletically. However, we can develop the butt and the glutes a lot more because all we have to do is shift the positioning of our upper body when we do the exercise. We do a sprinter lunge. And in the sprinter lunge, I come down almost as if I'm in the starting blocks as a sprinter. This forward lean of my trunk allows me to load up the backside significantly more. If you've never tried this, do it even without weight. Stand up and just lean forward, do a regular lunge. You'll feel most of the tension in your quads. If you make this simple lean forward of your trunk, what's happening is you're pushing your body, your center of mass forward, so the only thing that can help you to hold yourself back is the backside. Your posterior chain has to really start firing up. That's what we get here out of this exercise, and just this simple lean forward will turn it into a great glute power exercise, again, having to drive yourself back up to the top. So there you have it, guys. Regardless of who you're trying to attract, the path to get there is going to be the same. If you want to get an aesthetically pleasing body, then you got to make sure you're training like an athlete. It is and always will be the fastest way to get there. I can show you exactly how to do that, and not just that, give you the nutrition to make sure that your hard work shows when the time counts the most. I can give them both to you guys at AthleanX.com. Come on board Team Athlete and follow our AthleanX training system. In the meantime, if you found this video helpful, make sure you leave your comments and thumbs up below. And wherever else you want to see, guys, this is your channel. Make sure you let me know below in the comments, and I'll do my damnedest to make sure I bring those videos to you in the coming weeks. I'll see you again soon.